Every single day, roughly 95,000 Americans die from alcohol-related causes. That makes it the third leading preventable cause of death in the entire country. And yet most people who drink have absolutely no idea what is actually happening inside their brain and body from the very first sip. What you are about to hear will change the way you think about every drink you ever take. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly how alcohol moves through your system, what it does to your neurons, your liver, your heart, and your hormones, and why some of the effects are permanent even after you stop drinking. We will also get into something most health videos completely ignore, the counterintuitive way alcohol affects your sleep, and why you might feel rested after a night of drinking but actually be more exhausted than if you had not slept at all. Stay with us, because this one goes deep. Alcohol has been part of human civilization for over 10,000 years. Archaeological evidence suggests that fermented beverages were being produced as far back as 7000 BCE in ancient China. The ancient Egyptians brewed beer as part of daily nutrition. The Greeks and Romans built entire cultural rituals around wine. For most of human history, alcohol was not just a social lubricant, it was sometimes safer to drink than contaminated water supplies. This long relationship between humans and alcohol has shaped our biology, our culture, and our laws in profound ways. Today, approximately 86% of American adults report having consumed alcohol at some point in their lives. Around 26% report binge drinking in the past month. The substance is so deeply embedded in social life that its biological impact is often minimized or ignored entirely. That ends today. The moment alcohol enters your mouth, absorption begins. A small amount is absorbed through the tissues of your mouth and stomach lining, but the majority passes into your small intestine, where it rapidly enters the bloodstream. Within about 5 minutes of your first drink, alcohol reaches your brain. That is not a typo. 5 minutes. The speed of absorption is influenced by several factors, whether you have eaten recently, your body weight, your biological sex, and even your genetic makeup. Women, on average, absorb alcohol faster and reach higher blood alcohol concentrations than men of the same size because they have lower levels of an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase, which begins breaking down alcohol in the stomach before it even reaches the bloodstream. Once in the bloodstream, alcohol travels to every single organ in your body. And here's where most people get it wrong. Alcohol is not a stimulant. It is a central nervous system depressant. That initial feeling of confidence and energy you associate with the first drink is not stimulation, it is the depression of your brain's inhibitory control systems. Specifically, alcohol enhances the effects of GABA, a neurotransmitter that slows brain activity, while simultaneously suppressing glutamate, the primary excitatory neurotransmitter. The result is reduced anxiety, lowered inhibitions, and slowed reaction time. This is the biology of that first drink buzz, and it is happening at a chemical level in your synapses. But here's what nobody talks about. As your blood alcohol concentration rises, alcohol begins attacking your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and risk assessment. This is not a gradual polite dimming of your judgment. Research from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism shows that even moderate alcohol consumption, defined as just 2 drinks, measurably reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex within 30 minutes. This is why people make decisions while drinking that they would never make sober. The biological brake on impulsive behavior is being chemically removed. At the same time, alcohol is flooding your brain with dopamine. This is the same reward chemical released during pleasurable activities like eating or exercise. The dopamine surge reinforces the drinking behavior, telling your brain this was a good idea, do it again. Over time and with repeated use, the brain adjusts by producing less dopamine naturally and reducing its sensitivity to dopamine signals. This means regular drinkers need more alcohol to feel the same effect. This is the biological foundation of tolerance, and it is also one of the earliest warning signs of alcohol dependence. Now let us talk about what alcohol does below the neck, because the brain is only part of the story. Your liver is the primary site of alcohol metabolism, and it can only process approximately 1 standard drink per hour. Everything beyond that accumulates in your bloodstream. When your liver breaks down alcohol, it produces a toxic byproduct called acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. It damages DNA, disrupts protein synthesis, and triggers inflammatory responses throughout the body. The liver then converts acetaldehyde into acetate, a less harmful compound, but this entire process takes priority over everything else your liver is supposed to be doing, including regulating blood sugar, processing fats, and filtering other toxins. Chronic heavy drinking leads to a progression of liver damage. First comes fatty liver, which affects up to 90% of heavy drinkers and is often reversible with abstinence. Then alcoholic hepatitis, an inflammatory condition that can be life-threatening. Finally, cirrhosis, where healthy liver tissue is replaced with scar tissue permanently. Cirrhosis affects between 10 and 20% of heavy drinkers and is irreversible. There is no coming back from cirrhosis, which is why early intervention matters enormously. Now here is a statistic that stops most people cold. According to the World Health Organization, alcohol is causally linked to more than 200 disease and injury conditions. That includes 7 types of cancer: mouth, throat, esophagus, larynx, liver, colon, and breast cancer. The risk is not reserved for heavy drinkers. Research published in The Lancet found that there is no completely safe level of alcohol consumption when it comes to cancer risk. Every drink slightly increases that risk. Your cardiovascular system is also in the crosshairs. While you may have heard that moderate drinking is protective for the heart, more recent research using a method called Mendelian randomization, which accounts for genetic confounders, has significantly challenged that old narrative. A large-scale study published in the journal JAMA Network Open found that any level of alcohol consumption was associated with higher overall cardiovascular risk when genetic factors were properly controlled. Your heart rate increases with alcohol. Blood pressure rises. And over time, chronic drinking weakens the heart muscle itself in a condition called alcoholic cardiomyopathy. Let us circle back to the brain, because the long-term neurological effects deserve their own examination. Chronic alcohol use actually causes the brain to shrink. Neuroimaging studies show measurable reductions in gray matter volume, particularly in the frontal lobes and hippocampus, regions critical for memory and executive function. Some of this damage is partially reversible with prolonged sobriety, but studies suggest it can take years of abstinence for the brain to begin recovering meaningful function, and some deficits may be permanent. And then there is sleep, the thing almost nobody talks about when discussing alcohol. Many people use alcohol to fall asleep faster, and it does work in that narrow sense. Alcohol reduces sleep onset time, but it devastates sleep quality. Specifically, it suppresses REM sleep, the stage where emotional processing, memory consolidation, and cognitive restoration happen. A single glass of wine before bed reduces REM sleep by up to 24% according to research from the University of Melbourne. That means you may spend 8 hours in bed and wake up feeling completely unrestored. Over time, this compounds into chronic sleep debt, impaired cognition, and increased anxiety, all of which many people then try to manage with more alcohol. This is one of the cruelest cycles in the biology of alcohol use. The good news, and there is good news, is that the human body is remarkably resilient. Within 24 hours of stopping drinking, blood pressure begins to normalize. Within 1 week, sleep quality improves substantially. Within 1 month, liver function can show measurable recovery in early-stage damage. Within 3 months, cognitive function begins improving. Within 1 year, cancer risk from alcohol starts declining, though it never fully returns to baseline in long-term heavy drinkers. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to HealthCore Daily for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.